Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let's get set up. Let's get set up. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Let me open up YouTube right quick as we have some topics. I don't know why it's been doing that today. And it did exactly what I didn't want it to do. And the YouTube, I guess, just closed out. So weird. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed your weekend. You enjoyed the rest of your week last week. As I'm setting up. Second studio. Let me see. We are live. We are testing the sound. Hey, myself really good. That's very good. And then I feel like there's some more we could do, but I'm good. Y'all good? I'm good. All right. So let's get the disclaimer up here right quick. And let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm coming. Oh, yeah, it's plugged up. It's plugged up. Okay. Video tools. I ain't got this set up. Well, kind of not. You know how this goes, guys. You know how it goes when we got to talk about college. Got to be careful out here. I won't miss information, right? All right. Disclaimer: the videos presented here are for informational purposes only. And therefore, if you are to choose to attend an institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. All right. And so I should make it. That's cool. So, all right. But before we get started, so Alex took me, I think it was a birthday present, if I'm not mistaken. Al took me to J. Cole. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And I got a funny story to tell. Funny story to say and tell, but that y'all gotta remind me. Say it had to be a J. Cole story because we did get a picture with the best one of them, with one of the Dreamville members, but we didn't get Cold World. We did not get Cold World. We did not get a picture with Cold World. Cold World stood us up that night. He stood us up that night. We was trying to get a little interview with him. We couldn't. He missed them. So we got this. Enjoyed the concert. It was real good. Wanted him to sign this. Could have been in the background, framed, historical, you know. But it's okay. We'll get him next time. We'll get him next time. So, and I was actually trying to get one of the Dreamville members as well, but they were working late that night, so we couldn't really get that interview with them either. Because apparently, Boz went to college as well. Fun fact. And so we would ask him like what made him go to school, what he wanted to major in initially before it turned into music. I think that would have been a good, get some Dreamville people in here to talk about college with us, bring another perspective, right? So let's do our shield policies because we got a few things to talk about, guys. And July 21st, 2026. So national policy update. You got a razor edge, how colleges are navigating civil rights probes under Trump. And I will say this too, as we keep going, we're going to, because of work schedule really, our day job kind of changed a little bit. So we are going to live stream like once a week now, and then just try to drop videos during the week. That's like reaction about how you're at. I think that would be a good mix. We're gonna go forward doing, trying to make sure we can keep the views coming. and found a good rhythm. So I just wanted to say that in the beginning before you not watch the rest of this live screen. So a wave of student loan borrowers have entered default since the pandemic era protections lapsed. That's we actually have to cover that. That wasn't one of my topics, but that is actually something to cover. The U.S. Department of Education hosts summit on combating fraud in higher ed. Okay. Actually, SARA is about student protection. Don't know what SARA is. Trump administration can't cite changed priorities to terminate grants. Student loan policy uncertainty has real costs. Student loan policy uncertainty has real costs. That's by AEI. Probably cover that as well. Trump's workforce education vision gets off the ground. And then California, new data shows how California's Black serving institutions are performing. That's also some good we should follow and talk about. And it's actually funny enough, the first topic we're going to talk about is actually, I'm going to start with a video before I go to Black students enroll historic rates at HBCUs. It's a video I have to show you all right quick. Who doesn't like a good video? That's so cool. Let me see. And then it's in my yep. I don't think y'all can hear this. No, y'all can hear this. Let's see. I should be able to hear. So this is about alternative paths some students use to get into college. So yeah, let's just talk about it. It's a new way to get into your dream college, and they're about to. It's only 2 minutes, so let's do it.
Now with our GMA cover story, a growing number of high school grads finding an alternate pathway into their dream schools. It's a story that we first saw in the Wall Street Journal, and Rebecca Jarvis has more on what the journal calls a backdoor. Take a look.
It's the moment movies like Pitch Perfect promise. The Quad, The Roommate, the fresh start living on campus.
Hi there. Welcome to Barton University. What dorm? Baker Hall, I think.
But for some, that path may start behind a keyboard. Justin Hellman, a recent grad from Park Ridge, New Jersey, applied to the University of Florida and accepted into their Pathway to Campus Enrollment, or PACE program, a unique program that lets freshmen start their degree online before transitioning on campus.
When I opened up my letter, I saw congratulations, you have been accepted, but I saw to the PACE program. I pretty much cried, but then I'd say no more than 20 minutes later, I was saying, I want to be a Florida Gator.
Justin starts classes online this fall, and an optional fee gets him into the campus gym and the student section on game day.
So really everything that the typical student has, I have as well.
He'll share an apartment with 3 other students in the same program, all from out of state too. One of them, Joshua Baltimore, came from Houston to do the same.
We all get the same diploma. You're still taking the same classes, you're getting the same education, and you're getting the same degree.
The program has exploded from about 250 students in 2015 when it started to nearly 3,000 in fall 2024, according to the school. Texas A&M offers a similar program, while other colleges like University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, Georgia Tech, and University of Central Florida offer alternate pathways to enrollment, but not immediately. Experts say for the universities, it's smart business. It protects their rankings, and they still collect tuition from students who miss getting in the traditional way.
That flagship universities are doing two things. They are managing capacity of the class as well as managing revenue.
And in a few years, these students will graduate with their peers, the same University of Florida degree.
I mean, everybody that got in with this is like a top, at least 95th percentile SAT or ACT taker, a straight A student in high school. And it's very, very difficult. And backdoor, once again, definitely not the term I use for it, because it's students that are working just as hard as the ones that got in for the regular fall semester.
For Good Morning America, Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York. But for some, that path may start behind to the university program, transitioning on campus.
But I saw to the PACE program, I pretty much.
Justin starts classes online this fall, and an optional fee gets him into the campus gym and the student section on game day. Share an apartment with three other.
Really everything that the typical student has, I have as well.
He'll share an apartment with three other students in the same program.
That's what I wanted to highlight. So this is similar to what I did when I went to Valdosta State University, guys. Literally the same thing. It sounds like he's going to be fully online, or he is. We covered the story like written out, typed out initially. But now the story is saying that, yeah, hey, this is the video. He would be online, fully online, but he would just get in a campus apartment with two friends, I guess, who went to school with him or don't know them. But he's gonna be sharing an apartment. I think the person said with three other people. I shared an apartment with two other people I didn't know. But literally, that's what I did. I went fully online at VSU, Valdosta State University. That's what I did. And then I stayed near campus. I had a vehicle. So if the school was having a basketball game, this going on, that going on, then I would just drive to the campus. It was really that simple. It's a way, like you said, it's not really a back door. It's just like I'm literally doing the same major. I'm literally doing the same major as the kids who, like, when I was getting my organizational leadership degree or finishing that out to get my bachelor's, I was getting the same degree as kids who were there in person, except I was fully online. The only difference was I wasn't going to class, and I still was there. Actually, since I worked there full time, I had to be on certain parts of the campus anyway. Still was getting the same experience. And as they said, the football games and basketball games, that stuff is optional fees. But I still, for some reason, had to pay. No, I didn't have to pay. At VSU, they did not even charge me because I was a student. I just had to show my student ID, and I still was able to go to the basketball games. Funny enough, Valdosta State has a very good football team, and I did not go to one football game. Crazy work, right? And so this
from out of
right
state
here
too.
is a prime example of that.
One of them, Joshua Baltimore, came from Houston to do the same.
We all get the same diploma. You're still taking the same classes, you're getting the same education, and you're getting the same degree.
The program
You're getting the
has
same
exploded
degree.
from about 200.
And then they said Georgia Tech, Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can find that right quick on the map. Yep. So these schools are doing this as well. It's not just, as you can see, these are just some noble schools they use. But just imagine the other schools that have affordable prices that's not as big as these schools that you can go and get your bachelor's degree. And then get what you need, still enjoy yourself, and not have to go into student loan debt or student loan debt, that student loan debt burden. Because a lot of times what gets people is with the when you stay on campus, what gets you, as always, is your on-campus fees, room and board, meal plans. That what usually trips students up when they go to school. But what really gets you is not that, because I did the math one time comparing like me staying on campus at VSU versus staying off campus, and this is like in a small town. The difference is you have to pay all that money up front to stay on campus versus paying rent. That's a monthly thing. Yeah, it can be. It's always going to be more when you do monthly payments. I think everybody knows that monthly payments always be more than one-time payments. And so with rent, I paid more. My rent was cheaper, but it was something that I could do month to month. And I didn't have to take out a $10,000 loan, $12,000 loan realistically, because sometimes campus could be $6,000 per semester for meal plan and housing. So I didn't have to take out a $6,000 or $12,000 overall student loan to stay on campus when I could just pay and budget for groceries. That's a prime example, and that's what they're doing.
Central Florida offer alternate pathways to enrollment, but not immediately. Experts say for the
And so they say it's smart money, but or smart business, which it is. The student can still get the best of both worlds. And I think that's what it's coming down to. And some schools are catching on to that, not already know that. But the schools have a problem because they got these buildings and they're trying to figure out how to get students to like not catch on to that. Because remember, they do need you at these schools. They do need to sell these football game tickets, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, whatever sport is out there. They need to sell those tickets, right? And so, yeah, I thought that was something to really cover because it's so many ways to go to college. It's so many ways to save money in college. And once again, like and subscribe if you stop by. But that helps so many kids, so many students when they can know like, oh, it's another way I can do this. But you got to be responsible. You got to have a strong support system. You can't do this and think that you don't have to have responsibility intact. And what does that mean? That means just knowing like, hey, I gotta buy groceries, I gotta budget, I gotta pay rent on time. And really it prepares you for life. That's why I like the pathway I was walking, because I was my first time paying rent every month. It was my first time really well, my mom used to make me pay rent. It was my first time really paying rent, first time really like buying my own groceries, my first time really like doing all these things while I'm in school, really for the first time. And so, yeah, it's a good adjustment. I think everybody should consider that route. That's a good route. But if not, if a university is still too expensive, which I totally agree with you, definitely start a 2-year, bridge to a 4-year under the articulation agreement and pathway agreement. That's the best route for anybody, I feel like. In this crazy economy right now, that is the best route right now. So 2-year to 4-year, I feel like it's perfect timing. I feel like it's like Trump proof because I did that under Trump administration twice. Yeah, twice. I did it in undergrad, and then Trump was president. I always get this confused. Trump was definitely president during my grad when I was in grad school. And then 2020, Trump became president. Yeah, he was a president for another 2 or 3, 4 years, actually, because he became president when I was a senior in high school. And then I had Trump until 2020. Yeah, 2020. I don't know why. Leave me alone, y'all. Brain fart. So 2020. And so it was just so much going on. I guess that's why it's like a blog right there in 2020, because it's kind of like, what was going on? Pandemic. So, yeah. Yeah. So the next topic I got, Black students enroll at historic rates at HBCUs. So let me go to that topic right quick. I thought I had it pulled up. Computer. Where is it? Here it goes. Let me see. I think it is a free article. I'll probably share my screen with you all. You can already see. I'll take it down. Okay, good. All right. So this is by Afrotech. Everybody, I believe, knows what Afrotech is. So student enrollment at HBCUs, including North Carolina A&T and Morehouse College, are on the rise, while numbers are down at Harvard, Princeton, and Yale. So this is, who is it written by? So I can shout them out with all these advertisements on here. I just see a picture. Let me see if I can go down to the person who wrote it. No, nobody wrote it. Oh, there you go. Samantha Dorsica, I believe. And so zoom in. Where's the zoom in button these days? So Black students are enrolling at historically Black colleges and universities at historic rates, HBCUs, commonly known as. So the Root reports, I don't know the Root reports. Okay. But the Root reports that Black students nationwide are prioritizing HBCUs, a shift that follows the dismantling of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and programs across the education landscape. In 2023, specifically, the Supreme Court ended affirmative action. I remember that. I made a video on that. I didn't know much about it, but I understood it enough to say, oh, that's not good culturally, because I knew a lot of people relied on the affirmative action. And so the Supreme Court ended the affirmative action in higher education, as Afrotech previously reported. They quoted that. And then HBCUs that are seeing soaring numbers as a result include North Carolina A&T State University, which had more than 15,000 students enrolled in fall 2025, nearly 1,000 more enrolled than previous year. According to a press release, this marked the HBCU's largest single year of growth at 6.7%. It was also the university's 12th consecutive year of growth, which is very good. Chancellor James R. Martin II or Jr. said in the release, the 2025-2026 student body reaffirms our commitment to the people of North Carolina, our national appeal and impact as an exponential doctoral research HBCU, and the promise that North Carolina A&T holds for students around the world, said Martin. And some more in quotations. Morehouse College shared in a press release that its 2028 class will mark a record for its enrollment as well. With more than 2,500 students averaging a 3.7 GPA, there were more than 7,000 applications from students looking to attend one of the top HBCUs in the country. Other universities that have reported enrollment growth in recent years, per the Root. I gotta check out the Root. I don't know what the Root. Like and subscribe if you stopping by. It helps the channel, guys. It helps get this information out. So the other schools include Albany State University. That's in Albany, Georgia. I pass through Albany on my way to Valdosta all the time. So Albany State, Jackson State University, Southern University, and A&M College, Fayetteville. I don't know why I'm gonna say Fayetteville. Fayetteville State University, Alabama A&M University, Texas Southern University. In contrast, Black student enrollment is declining at predominantly white institutions. Well, I already said it, PWIs, including Ivy League schools, Harvard University, Princeton University, and Yale University, as well as other prestigious colleges following the reversal of affirmative action, as Afrotech previously reported. Data covering 20 colleges found that Black student enrollment declined compared to fall 2023 at Harvard. 11.5% of the class of 2029 are Black, and 11% are Hispanic. And that's something I've been telling people right there, that the Black enrollment has been going down. Now at schools, I haven't been keeping up with that as much, but as a culture, as Black people, we're not going to college as much as we used to. And it's a lot of Black women going to college, but not a lot of Black males going to college compared to the women. It's always more women going to college than males. And so, but I wanted to say that Hispanics are catching up with Blacks going to college as far as minorities. And so we know other demographics are doing well going to school, but Blacks are like, we're really declining as going to college. I think that's a big thing that should be talked about. Your favorite celebrity should be saying it. Your favorite business person should be acknowledging it. Because the thing is, Black people should focus on Black people, and we should really focus on that. And so, yeah, that's a big thing. And so, but shout out to Hispanics, they're doing what they need to do, handling business, minding their own business. They don't really care about any barriers. They're going to find a way and make a way. I think that's how we should be. We should be more resilient, more focused on each other, because we're falling behind. College is really important, guys. I can't stress that enough. Even I started out doing trades, but I realized that going to college, like getting a degree, is powerful. And shout out to my mentors out there, because they emphasize that to me really early, why you should go to college, because you only do what you know. And it's a lot of people out there who do what they know, but you can learn from a lot just reading sometimes. Like, I know it doesn't seem real, and if you like me, like, I'll be honest with you, like, I learned that seeing people in person makes a better difference than online sometimes. So if you're reading something and you're into this person or this writer or whoever the person is, and you like their thought process, their method, go see them in person. Like, prime example, not even all the way education, but when I went to go see J. Cole on his fall off tour, Alex, when I went to see J. Cole, I think the biggest thing I said, he really is like this all the time. Like, he really, like, just seeing it in person. Another person I seen in person was like Wall Street Trapper for investing. I like watching him. But when I seen him in person, like, I was in undergrad. I drove from Valdosta to Atlanta, like, just to go see Wall Street Trapper in person. I was like, oh, he really is like this. So sometimes you really gotta go see these people in person and be like, oh, you're really like what you say you are. And then some people, you go and see who they're not, who they are. Why do I say that? Because that has an effect on the culture. Because, like, these kids can't tell the difference between who is really doing these bad things, or they're saying in their music or acting or whatever the case is. If it's not really giving good intuition to them and they don't know the difference, they need to know the difference. And I'm gonna leave it there because I'm going on a tangent. So yeah. And then at Harvard, 11.5, then we keep going. Hispanic, 11%, down from 14% black, and 16% Hispanic in the class of 2028. So the Hill reported at the same time, because we got Hispanic serving institutions as well. So at some institutions reporting that Black students represented just 2% of their freshman class. Okay. And then the Column magazine notes that the rise in enrollment at HBCUs shouldn't be framed as a second choice option for students, but rather as evidence that HBCUs have been steadily building their national profiles, improving recruitment efforts, expanding digital outreach, and being strategic with philanthropy funding, which is good. Because shout out to this. Actually, it just crossed my mind before I come back to this. 2 Chainz's daughter got into Howard, actually. The reason I thought of that and said that, because I remember 2 Chainz performing at Howard. It was when HBCUs just, like, everybody was like HBCUs went on a tear one year. I don't know what happened. But HBCUs went on a tear that year. As I tell people, I didn't go to HBCU. I went to Historical Black High School, which is like a mini HBCU. And we did everything that HBCUs do. And what that means is, because I love talking about this, because it's like, hey, we didn't have a lot of resources at my Historical Black High School. Fun fact. We did not have enough. Let me see right quick. I'm gonna type in something and talking. Okay. So right here it says, I think her name is Heaven Epps. Let me see. Dang, this is. Let's see if this article is free. me see. We're loading. Why it does that, I think we have to go to another article. Because I don't think 2 Chainz graduated high school, which is probably a full circle moment for him. And let alone, I think she's going to be the first person to go to college in his family, probably. Let's do Yahoo. Yahoo's more cool. Let me see. Know what this computer be doing. All right. Okay, RS. Hold on. Let me see if I can close that out. Why is that? Oh, what is this, man? What are we doing? Hold on. All right. So 2 Chainz daughter Heaven Epps to attend Howard this fall, continuing parents HBCU legacy. No, 2 Chainz he went to Alabama State actually. Now him, because I thought when they said that in the title, I'm like, because I didn't think 2 Chainz went to college, but I think he went to Alabama State to play basketball. Now I think about it. Okay, let me keep going. I was just assuming real quick. The daughter of rapper 2 Chainz will be attending Howard University this fall. Heaven Epps received an acceptance letter in December 2025 and has toured the university campuses several times ahead of her enrollment. The rapper, whose real name is Tasheed Epps, and Heaven's mother, Keisha Ward Epps, both attended HBCUs. Heaven's mother took to social media to announce her daughter's achievement in December 2025. She shared the news in a celebratory post featuring the acceptance letter. Ooh, congrats type stuff, you know? And then, so grateful to share my baby's accomplishment. 2 Chainz commented under the post, congratulated his daughter, writing overly proud of my baby girl. And then, so she is getting ready to go to Howard. Oh, good. There we go. We got a picture. There we go. You say something, Al? I thought she said something. So we got a picture. She looks just like him too. And the mama. Huh? You said something, Al? Oh. So they got a picture right here, Howard. And but yeah, that just made me think about that. And so I don't think, like they said, yeah, the rapper first played as Division I basketball player at Alabama State University. I knew I wasn't tripping. From 1995 1997, he then enrolled at Virginia State University, where he obtained a psychology degree, according to the HBCU Game Day. Heaven's mother also graduated from an HBCU, having earned a degree in criminal justice and concentration and corrections from Alabama State University. So yeah, 2 Chainz used his platform as an artist to highlight HBCUs in the past. The music video for his 2003 song Moneymaker featured the Human Jukebox, Southern University's marching band. It also included shout outs to schools such as Florida A&M, Jackson State, Grambling, Texas Southern, Clark Atlanta, and Morehouse. And it was good that 2 Chainz did that. Just highlighting that real quick, because going back to this, because a lot of people don't know what HBCUs are. And I really can't, I don't know what to say, because we all believe in social media. So I really don't know what to say with the McDonald's commercial in the corner. But a lot of people believe in social media, and social media, depending on what you follow on social media, you will never learn about HBCUs, because HBCUs are like a Southern thing, you know what I'm saying? Southern, but not Southern thing. It's like a down South thing. And it's probably some HBCUs, I'm not down it, like Howard is up north, but a lot of HBCUs are in the South, like Albany, Fort Valley, Tuskegee, Morehouse, the list goes on and on, right? Morris Brown. It's so many HBCUs out there, but it's highlighting that, going back to the main topic, that HBCUs are increasing their enrollment. And I think it's good to highlight that because of what's going on. The only downfall I have about HBCUs, just like any other university, is that they're very expensive. You know, like the prestige, like Morehouse, Howard, those are very prestige HBCUs, guys. And if you do get a full ride to go there, go there. But remember, we did talk about one student who went to Morehouse, how he was upset about his experience in student loan debt. So I treat the vision I have with colleges or universities, I say go to a school that's affordable. And there are HBCUs that are affordable, just like there are some PWIs that are affordable. There are HBCUs that are expensive, just like there are PWIs that are expensive. But my ordeal and vision for speaking on behalf and for you to save money in college is to go where you're, for one, accepted, where you feel safe, included, all the above, right? You feel like this is another home. And then you feel like this school is affordable. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, you represent the school. And like I said, I was at a historical Black high school. And one thing about going to schools like HBCUs, historical Black high schools, and I think Deion Sanders showed it best, is that they're very under-resourced. Like I said, I always tell the story that when I was at my historical Black high school, before I go to the next topic, my historical Black high school, William Henry Spencer High School, was like in the old building. We didn't have a locker room for the basketball team. Football team had a locker room, but the football team didn't really play at their field. You know, like we didn't even have a football field yet. I think most high schools don't have a football field, I think, so I can't count that. But for example, our wrestling team at the time didn't have nowhere to practice. They used to practice on the stage in the auditorium. Imagine that. We used to get dressed, the basketball team, we used to get dressed in the auditorium. We didn't even get dressed in the locker room. So everything was just under-resourced, you know, like going to historical Black high school, going to HBCUs, they have to deal with that all the time, not having resources. So when I graduated from high school, college wasn't in the plans. Let's be clear. College wasn't in the plans. If you know me, I've been telling the same story. College came like an afterthought, and then some other things, but I'm skipping a little bit. But then when I realized I could do the college thing, when I did have a chance, okay, I could go to HBCU because my school had a partnership with Fort Valley, Albany State. But I didn't want to go back through that at a HBCU, guys. I've been through that. Like I went to a Black elementary school, predominantly Black, under-resourced in South Columbus Elementary. I went to a Black elementary school. What they call that? What's that word? Title I elementary school. I went to an all Black middle school, Title I middle school. I went to a historical Black high school, Title I as well. And I just got tired of not having resources, and I wanted resources. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I wanted resources so bad. And so I was trying not to be in that situation. I didn't want to go to a campus and then the campus apartments got mold or whatever the case is. I wasn't trying to go through that because that's at PWI. It's at all schools, apparently. I wasn't trying to go through none of that. I was trying to like take the best route so I can have everything I need to advance myself and be in the situation I am today. Like and subscribe. So I think, shout out to HBCUs. Hopefully they can keep this up, keep this going. I think this is how it should be. I think top athletes should go to HBCUs at this point. What's the reason not to go to HBCU at this point? Money? Ain't that crazy? NILs now? Now HBCUs ain't got the money to pay the top-notch athletes. Ain't that crazy? Like and subscribe. So that'd be a good theory video. That'd be a good theory video. It'd be like, oh yeah, remember when Deion Sanders flipped the #1 recruit, and then all of a sudden now they want to pay students to go to school? And that'd be a good theory video. I don't know who's gonna make it. I probably have to make that. That'd be a good little video because that is crazy timing. When Deion flipped that recruit, and that boy went from a nationally known university, and he said, man, I'm going to Jackson State. He going to Mississippi. Hey man, listen, I ain't going no. I got some rules, y'all, and I think that's just me. I ain't going to Mississippi for no education, and I ain't going to Alabama for no education. and I ain't going to Louisiana. I'm sorry. That's just my 3. I ain't going nowhere near those for no education. That's just me. That's just me. Put the 3 in me. I'm the 3rd. But that's crazy timing, right? Deion flipped that commit, had HBCUs turned. All of a sudden now, NILs. Hey, we gotta go with the money yet, get paid as a college player. Just saying. Because now HBCUs got to figure out how they can pay athletes to bring in talent and hopefully one day compete. So great. Hey man, what can we say? Shout out to once again who wrote the article. Shout out to Samantha for writing this article. Samantha Dorskip, I said it right, is a Houston-based journalist and photographer whose mission is to impact communities through the gift of storytelling. And then one more thing. What's the root? That's what I need to look at. I don't even know if that's a credible source for research. Let me see. Black news, opinions, politics, and culture. So, okay. How I put this. This is I'm gonna go ahead and state the obvious. A lot of people will say this is not credible, while a whole nother side of culture, Black people will say this is a credible news outlet. Or is it a news outlet? The root, Black news. Yeah. So I believe it's more opinionated. I'm going to say more opinionated than because it didn't come from the government website. So this was more of an opinionated article according to school. But wait. Said according. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of like opinionated. Because it's not pulling from the actual government websites of data. And that's what we get into, like, what's, don't get me, guys, don't poke at me, but that's going down a whole nother rabbit hole. But it's kind of, I think it's an op-ed. This was an op-ed in a way. I think it was an op-ed for sure. They should have put some government websites. That's a good article. I'm not doubting it. Okay, 2 Chainz. Talk about that. Be a good clip up. 2 Chainz' daughter going to Howard. That's good. We making progress out here. Like and subscribe. Where is give me a few seconds. We already covered that. Okay, good. Now we can just go. All right. Got another one. So I think I want to do, I'm gonna do this one. So Georgia colleges, students adjust to federal loan program. This is the Atlanta Journal-Constitution for my Georgia people, because I'm out here in Georgia. Yeah, let's get into this. So Mackenzie Hickson, this is Mackenzie right here. Mackenzie Hickson presents in Knowles Hall at Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta on Wednesday, July 1, 2026, while participating in policy academics, right? So Mackenzie Hickson graduated from Spelman College. Congrats. This spring, and look forward to a restful summer before starting her graduate degree classes this fall at Emory. That was until her mentor said she had to be enrolled by July 1 to get the Grad Plus loan she needed to help pay for school. They told me basically that I have no choice but to take classes this summer, Hickson said, who is pursuing a degree in public health. Because she was told she had to start courses during the summer, adding a term to her graduate studies, Hickson will likely have to borrow more than she originally intended. So, and then it says right here, a massive tax and spending bill signed into law last year by President Donald Trump eliminated the Grad Plus loan program, which took effect July 1. It also added new limits on other federal loans and ended the Biden-era SAVE plan. The changes force students like Hickson to adjust to regulations. This is why I say policy is so important, y'all. This is why I say this, guys. We talked about this years ago, you know, and this is what I mean by policy is so important, because we say things like this is going to happen to students who rely on student loans. Students who rely on student loans right now to go to school, it's going to be hard and difficult, especially depending on what's your major. It's going to be really difficult and hard, right? And I hate that students have to borrow more money because of, honestly, I don't understand what's going on with this loan stuff and how this working and all of this, right? It's really crazy how it's happening, because they're just really like, it seems like a free fall right now with the way all the loans are. And so Grad Plus loans allow student borrowers to take out up to the full cost of attendance, while direct unsubsidized loans had limits. The U.S. Department of Education had established separate direct unsubsidized loan categorizations, did I say it right, for professional and graduate degrees, which funny part about that, they're going to court about what's considered a professional degree and what's not a professional degree, or what's a graduate degree. This is so important. Like and subscribe. Can't stress it enough. Just being honest. Future Hendrix, just being honest. And that's already a problem in itself. And so each with different annual and aggregate borrowing limits, the former having higher limits. So where is it? So yeah. And then yeah, so students like McKinsey, right? Yeah, students like McKinsey have to deal with borrowing more money for whatever reason, right? Not for whatever reason, borrow more money, yeah, for whatever reason in her part, because she was prepared. But now, technically, with the new changes that got signed into law back in 2025 when we live streamed, before we had the setup, it's went into effect this July. A lot of students actually have got defaulted on. Give me a few seconds on that one. I can pull that up right quick. That's already up here. I just got to move it. Is that it? No, that's the case right there. Students have defaulted. Where is it? It says something about students defaulted. Oh, that was the SHIO. That's why we got it up here. Right here. A wave of student loan borrowers have entered default since pandemic era protections lapsed. What's this? So right here, this was written on July 20th. That scared me. That was something else. So defaults on student loans have surged across the United States, reaching record levels as borrowers struggle to keep up with payments. They have resumed these student loans. If you don't want student loans, you need to start at a 2-year and bridge to a 4-year. But when you start at a 2-year and bridge to a 4-year, guys, you don't have to do a trade or technical studies. When you go to a 2-year, the message right now is that go to a 2-year. A lot of people are saying go to a 2-year and what's they saying? Go to a 2-year and do a trade. I'll be honest. That a lot of people are doing that right now. That's the hottest commodity. If it was on the stock market right now, if I can trade, that's a good thing. If I could do that. If I could trade air conditioning degrees, diplomas right now, air conditioning, automotive trades right now in the stock market, my spreads would have been crazy because I saw that a year ago. But that's what they're selling right now. And so the numbers have spiked since payments came due again following a lengthy pause intended to provide relief during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, around 9.5 million people 1 in 5 federal student loan borrowers are in default, meaning they are more than 9 months behind on their payments. While credit scores can suffer when borrowers are just a few months behind, entering default brings the possibility of more serious consequences, including garnishing wages or Social Security payments. For now, the Trump administration has held off on such involuntary collection. So that's good. They haven't done anything yet, but be expecting that, because you can't just be like, hey, well, they ain't gonna do it because they held off on it. They just timing it. And so somebody right here in quotation said, folks are struggling to make ends meet and cover all the rising costs of everything else. The growing student loan bills are making things worse, and folks are falling behind, said, I hope I said his name right, Asa Policy Director, Asa Benez, if I said it right, Policy Director for the advocacy group Protect Borrowers. Here are takeaways from the Associated Press analysis. So they had a payment, we had a payment pause right here. Between this gap right here, between September 20, the year 2020, and then started back and it spiked up. And so this is where we go back to that topic. I don't know if you all remember, this is where we go back to that topic of saying, look, you can't depend on the government because the government is not to be dependent on. You can't trust them or depend on them. And I'm in the military and I know that. And so when they gave you that pause, that was more of like, because it was going to happen. It was going to happen one way or another. I do believe if it was the other administration, Democrat, they probably would have made the rich pay for it somehow or whatever, tax the rich, I guess. But, you know, Republicans are going to be like, shoot, the people pay for it. They took it out, which I'll be honest, I support that. A lot of people who, now let's be honest, a lot of people who got student loans, guys, it's a lot of people in low income environments, poverty, yeah, but it's a lot of people in middle class and high class or high income tax brackets that took these student loans out. Because the parents who got money let their kid, hey, you want to go to school, it's going to be your responsibility if you can't pay for it. And a lot of these kids went to these schools they couldn't afford. That goes back to our initial topic, our initial conversation. If you can't afford to go to the school, why did you go there? Schools did their part. They got a great marketing team. Like and subscribe. Why did you go to the school you can't afford? Why did you go to the school you can't afford and then you're quick to say college is rigged? That makes no sense. That makes no sense because we're providing you options on how you can save money and go to college, start a 2-year, Bristol 4-year. You know, don't get a meal plan, don't stay on campus, and they can give you a great return on investment. You know, but this is going to keep happening. And this is why I'm just like, it got to be a higher ed bubble. Some people are saying we're in the AI bubble. Some people, I'm saying we're in a higher ed bubble. Some people saying we in this bubble. Are we going to be in a recession? We had 2 negative GDPs back to back. Hey, something going to happen. It's too much, like too many people hurting, too many people can't pay for this, can't pay for that. College is really expensive. Everything's so expensive. So I don't know. Me generally, personally, I need an economicist to come on camera and say, hey, something gonna happen. Because I ain't go to school for economics, but something ain't right. I took basic economics, something don't seem right. It don't seem right. It don't make sense. And when something don't make sense, it don't make sense. So that's pretty much about the about going back to what student loans with McKinsey. And then they talked about massive tax and spending bill signing law. We already said that. So how Georgia University, so if you're in Georgia, this really applies to you, how Georgia universities are adapting. So the Grad Plus program has been one of several lifelines for Georgia borrowers, with nearly 2 million borrowers nationwide. According to some estimates, a grandfather clause. Oh, what's a grandfather clause, y'all? My brother just told me what a grandfather clause was. It's like when you be grandfathered in, and it's probably like, what is that? And so, like, prime example is when like so the best example I like to do is I like to talk about my brother's profession. He's a physical therapist. And so the reason I like to talk about that is because beforehand, this is why he chose to be a physical therapist. I think he was in high school when it happened. I had to ask him. But he didn't, before, you didn't have to go to doctoral school. Like, you didn't have to go to physical therapy school. It wasn't a thing. And all you had to do was just get your bachelor's degree and become a physical therapist. And then now they have it where you got to spend like 6 figures pretty much to go to physical therapy school. Yes. And so if you was already a physical therapist, when they changed it, like you have to go to physical therapy school. If you was like already a physical therapist, they just grandfathered you in. That's what he explained to me. Because I told him I was reading about it. And so that's when they do things like that, put barriers on it. And so, yeah. So a grandfather clause is a legal provision that exempts individuals, businesses, or properties from new rules or regulations, allowing them to continue operating under the old laws. This protection typically applies only to pre-existing conditions or activities and ends if those conditions change, such as when property is sold. So there you go. Just like what we said. They said individuals, businesses, or property. So I guess, like I say, school count as a business, college count as a business, I guess, because it's nonprofit, but it counts as a nonprofit business. It definitely did that with physical therapy programs. Why did I say that? Because a grandfather clause allows students who borrow a grad plus loan before June 30th to continue borrowing for 3 academic years or until the end of their program, whichever comes first. The Peach State ranks 3rd in the nation for student average. Wow. That, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Ow. I don't know if that's a good thing. She's on the phone. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. The Peach State, Georgia, I would just say Georgia ranks 3rd in the nation for student average loan debt per borrower at about $42,000. So you know what that means, guys? Me going to school, let me tell you something. Me going to school in Georgia, I was supposed to get an average of $42,000 going to college. We got zero. Just like our live screens, zero right now. But we got $0 going to college. Debt-free degree graduate. You can do it too. Subscribe to the YouTube. You see it right here. I'm from Georgia. I went to college in Georgia. I didn't get $42,000. I didn't even get 1 penny of student loan debt. And so, shout out to Abraham Lincoln. And so, the new legislation drops the borrowing limits for direct unsubsidized loans significantly. And so, you know, yeah, it's tough out here, man. I don't know why. Probably got to read that. That's Georgia Tech. So I wanted to cover that, man. That was something that needed to be covered. It's getting ugly out here. This is why policy matters. If you paid attention to the policies or, you know, tapped in with us, I gotta market myself. I gotta market myself a little bit. If you was tapping in with us, watching us, you could have dodged that. You could have like planned around that. You really could have. You could have planned around, okay, I got this much time. Trump signing these bills, the executive orders about college. I need to probably take more classes, do this, do that. And so now, or be prepared for when the change was coming so you wouldn't be in that situation. Because some of these students probably, once we get a clear eyesight on what's going on with these student loan borrowers and all this good stuff, then we can see, you know, then we can have an idea like, are students going to have to go to private banks? Or are they going to have to are they going to go to private banks because they can't borrow as much money from the federal government, from the Fed, Department of Education, financial aid, you know, that section. So it's interesting. It's important because this how policy helps. Theoretically, disclaimer, not a financial advisor. But if student loans, for example, have to go, if kids in college alone have to go pull out more money privately, then that lets you know what banks are going to be offering the best loans, if that is a thing. No loan is really good. But what I'm saying is the stock market has these companies on there, Wells Fargo, SoFi, you know. And so if more people need money in this economy, theoretically, if companies need, if not companies, if the consumers or us, the people, me, I'm a person, consumer, whatever they want to call me. If I need more money to live and survive, to keep going, that means I'm going to have to go to what? Banks. Because banks allow me to borrow money because I need it to keep things sustained, theoretically. And so because cars are going up. Once again, cars, shoot, your prescription drugs are going up. Your college is going up. And going back to that, a lot of students are going to be taking out loans to go to college. So that's going to help banks increase their loans. But I'm not a financial advisor, but it's just kind of like common sense. So I'm just saying, banks are going to really enjoy this administration. I call it for how I see it. I grew up low income. It's part of kind of like not having a heart and seeing it for what it is, because you got to see it that way sometimes. And so let's keep going, man. Theoretically, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm gonna tell you this. Theoretically, I'm not a financial advisor. Oh, my bad. I said that wrong. I'm not a financial advisor, but theoretically, I see my bad. Good catch. But I'm just seeing a lot of people who work in banking, they seem happy. People in banking seem happy right now. It seems like this is a good time for them. I ain't been hearing about nobody complaining at banks. Only people I've been hearing complaining is people getting laid off at these Fortune 500 companies like Microsoft, Meta, Google, and all that. Don't the only people. Everybody else, they chilling. These banks, they chilling. I'm just saying. All right, next topic. Y'all can get a kick out of this. Like and subscribe. This helps the channel. It's been a lot of good information, guys. I'm telling you. I just can't imagine if I was 18. I can't imagine if I was 18, guys, 19, trying to figure out how to save money in college. I would be watching this right now. And like you telling me what I need to do, and like, hey, you need to start a 2-year bridge to 4. I need to start a 2-year bridge to 4-year. Okay, I got you, Henry. Oh, you saying I need to do an internship because, like the person for JP Morgan, the CEO for JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, he started out as an intern. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't watched that video on YouTube, but he started out as an intern. Sometimes interns are the best route. I don't believe in doing multiple internships free. It depends on the company. But if it's a Fortune 500 company, I would intern for free. I'll find a way. But if it's another company, they're going to pay me. So look, University of Nebraska system braces for unexpected $36 million state funding cut. Temple University lays off 40 employees as it tackles deficient. I'm gonna say as it tackles. Can you say that? Does that flow right? Deficient. DEFICIT. Yeah, that's what they said. Temple University lays off 40 employees as it tackles deficient. Yeah, okay. That sounds a little better that way, I guess. So we talked about Temple University last time, guys. This is an updated one, but they're having more. Temple University is going through more layoffs. I would not work at Temple University right now. More layoffs. I don't know what's going on. But I'm saying the reason I'm saying this is because universities are going through a lot of layoffs right now. It's hard times at these universities. They rely heavily on international enrollment. The Trump administration cut the international enrollment by a lot, making it hard for students with visas to come here and go to school. The Trump administration hit them for an endowment tax. I don't know if that followed through. I think that did. Universities are going through it, and their money is not in the right position to deal with all this because they, as we talk about universities, I laid off universities for a little bit. I think I was scaring people who worked at universities, and universities they don't prepare their money for this. Is one of the reasons why I pivot the way I did, because I felt like I was on the way out. I was like, oh, gotta go. gotta hedge. That's what they say. Gotta hedge. Gotta be careful. Gotta be out of there. And so, as we see right here, the public Philadelphia institution is reducing its workforce for the second year in a row, but has seen promising enrollment gains of late. I don't know how true that is. Because you gotta think, guys. You gotta think who gets the article. Shout out to Ben Unglesby, senior reporter. So Temple University is again making budget cuts as it heads into fiscal 2027 year, still wrestling with elevated costs and the impact of past enrollment declines. So the public university $1.3 billion operating budget raises tuition an average of 3.4% for in-state and out-of-state students for the 2026-2027 academic year, and cut $60 million in expenses, according to a Tuesday news release. So, with a 3.4% tuition rate, like hiking tuition, 3.4%. I don't know, because up north they say up north, guys, has pretty good they say up north has pretty good allocation on their state budgets, but hopefully we find that out, because yeah, like if it was like somewhere like Georgia, Florida, I'll say yeah, because we the South, we don't value education like the North, but this is Philadelphia. I think the school just got bad fundamentals. Temple University just got bad fundamentals right now. I think that's really what it is. Yeah, I know I gotta keep that lung hydrated. So among other measures, Temple plans to lay off around 40 employees, less than 1% of its workforce, as the university tries to close what was previously projected to be an $85 million budget deficit. Temple President John Fry said Wednesday in a community message, wow. So Temple in Philadelphia is just one of many institutions, large and small, public and private, that are navigating budget deficits going into fiscal 2027. Many have announced layoffs, among them Kent State, Bowie State, Colorado State, Johns Hopkins universities. Prompting those moves are merit factors. Myriad. I think it's Myriad. Myriad. I'll be like, I read your taxes. Myriad. Let's see.
Myriad.
It's myriad. Myriad means a very large, countless, and indefinitely great number of things. So prompting those moves are myriad factors, including lagging state funding. But I don't know. I don't think that's their problem, though. I never looked at Philadelphia funding. That's a city, though. I never looked at their state funding. Federal policy disruption. No, that's the big one. I think that's the main thing messing them up, as I said before. Enrollment fluctuations and other challenges. But I think the real thing that I want to talk about here is that, can schools really close down? Can a university really close down? I haven't seen like a really known university close down yet. I haven't heard of, like, the way Temple University is going. They haven't lost accreditation. They haven't they haven't went through that yet. Temple University haven't lost accreditation. I think they lost the people's trust, laying off 40 more employees. It's not, it doesn't sound like it's a safe working. If I'm talking about faculty, instructors right now, as a student, this applies to you because you might be going to a school that don't care really about you. If you go to Temple University, I'm just theoretically saying that because if you're laying off people for the second time, for the second year in a row, it's just like a business at this point. If you're going to have NIL deals, if you're going to have patches on uniforms, if you're going to have all these things to get more money to make your school better, it's only right that you run it like a business. And I'm not upset at it. Like, you're paying presidents, VPs, execs millions of dollars to do this job, but they're not doing $1 million. They're not doing $1 million things or high 6-figure range things. And that's not fair to you as the student. If I'm keeping it real, like and subscribe, speaking on behalf. Just speaking on your behalf right now. I don't think that's fair to you as a student right now. That it's a little blurry on the camera, but I don't think that's fair to you as a student, man, for real, that these schools are not really executing. And I can't stress it enough because you could be like the young lady, Mackenzie, who was a victim to the policy changes that happened back in 2025. And then they became into law and really law July 1st, 2026. Like, that's law. And it's not like we're going to get another, hopefully, it's not like we're going to get another president like Trump where this law can just change overnight. Like, that's going to be law about getting limits for your student loans. And I strongly believe students shouldn't borrow money to go to school. If you can't afford to go to that school, you should go to the school that can best set you up for your life. That's my strong belief, speaking on your behalf. But going to Temple University, for example, or these other schools that having multiple budget cuts, just not managing their money correct, that could be bad for you as a student. That can affect you might not think it's important, but that can affect your campus climate. You can never get in contact with your academic advisor. Your instructor seems to not want to spend hours or trying to make sure you get the learning you need because maybe your instructor can't get paid enough and they took this job because they had to take this job, for example. And people do that. People take jobs they don't really want to do because they got to do it to pay their bills. And yeah, people like me are passionate and believe you can save money in school while the majority are just taking a job to take a job. That's not fair to you as a student. That's why it's important to choose a school, no matter if it's a 2-year or 4-year, that's going to serve your needs. Because most of the time, you as the student make the school. If I put like I said, prime example, shout out to Deion Sanders. He proved that, look, if I get the talent here, the school will be good. So you are the talent as an academic student. You are the talent. Like, if you need access to the research lab and the school say, we have a 24-hour research lab, that's good for you. You like, oh yeah, I just need the lab 24 hours. I just need to come in here whenever, I might be up at 2 a.m. for some reason. I need to use the lab. But another school that might be prestige does not have a 24-hour research lab. Like, some schools have 24-hour libraries. I know for a fact, if I had a 24-hour library on my college campus, I would have been there majority of my time. If I didn't want to do school at my desk in my apartment, as you saw, if you go watch my old videos, if I don't want to do schoolwork there, I can go to my 24-hour library, which is very beneficial, and eat food and make memories. I know Georgia Tech has a 24-hour library, for example. Simple. And Georgia Tech also is so smart. Shout out to them again. They have where they have all this, like, they own so much land. They have this script of like all this food and stuff they own. Like, it's literally on their campus for students to go eat if they get hungry at all times of the night. So it's like really safe for the student. Like, schools could do this, man. Like, it's really simple things, but they're just lazy, I guess. I don't know. But we get caught up in them wearing a suit, being traditional, saying some charming words, and we not asking Is this school really for me? And granted, you're only 18, 19. You could be an older student, but realistically right now, it's like you're only 18, 19. How you supposed to know all this stuff? Some of you do know this stuff early. But it's where the parents got to come in and help you and help guide your decision on what school's going to be best for you. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe. It's serious business going on out here in these colleges. It's serious. So serious, though. No, not you, Siri. Not you, Siri. But so serious. And then we go to University of Nebraska right quick. University of Nebraska. So the University of Nebraska system braces for unexpected $36 million funding cut. Excuse me. And then right here it says the originally published on the Higher Ed Drive, which we just left. They're facing a $36 million cut. The University of Nebraska system is facing an unexpected $36 million cut in state funding as it starts its fiscal year that has already brought painful cuts to its institutions. The reduction comes as Nebraska tax revenue fell $307 million short of projections for the state fiscal year 2026, which ended June 30th. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen mandated state agencies in a July 8 memo to freeze hiring, bar state approval, and reduce travel and other spending. And then I think that's really it. Yeah, it's not that much really after that. And then the last thing I want to say right there for this is that, where is it? I need to click on it. With the $36 million cut, a message from President Gold on recent state budget directives. Is that? Look at President Jeffrey Gold. Got his medical doctor, got his MD. So he's the president of the University of Nebraska system. So he is over all the universities. Who picked him? The governor of Nebraska, unless it's not set up like Georgia, because in Georgia, our governors pick the honchos for these. So let me tell you how political this gets. And I didn't know this. I didn't know higher ed was so political. I just didn't know that. So this person right here, he could probably, if he already has not been, President Jeffrey Gold could possibly be the governor of this state one day. Like this sets up a lot of higher education sets up a lot of higher ed people to be political figures. It does a lot. It does. And then he's the chancellor of Nebraska Medical. Oh, he a chancellor of Nebraska Medical Center. But he was a surgeon, medical educator, and academic administrator who has been the president of the University of Nebraska system since 2024. Shout out to him. And he went to Cornell. I'm telling you guys, ain't nobody putting people in position who ain't got education. Do not let people tell you not to go to college. So, dear faculty and staff, Wednesday evening, Governor Jim Pillen released a memo directing state agencies, boards, and commissions to reduce their current fiscal year spending effective July 1. The measure is to offset Nebraska income tax refunds. I believe that's due to recent with the Trump administration. If I'm not mistaken, I could be completely wrong. But income tax refunds that significantly exceeded projections, as we just said. In the memo, Governor Pillen outlined 4 measures below that he requires all agency boards and commissions to take in order to reduce spending. As we just said, they got to reduce their spending. But where is it? Budget, state budget. He says right here, I want to be clear. What the governing office is asking for us is significant. This new reduction in the current year budget represents more than $36 million across the NU system. This new requirement comes a little over 2 months since the legislature adjourned and just weeks after our Board of Regents approved the final 2026-2027 state aided budget, which already includes a $8 million annual reduction in spending. Over the past, I hope I said it right, and many years before that, we have navigated budget reductions every year, and you, our faculty and staff, have responded with creativity, resilience, and unwavering commitment. They love to say that. I'm not trying to see that right there. Okay, that's pretty much it. I thought, oh, that was his letter. I thought it was gonna be more in there. I really did. Thought it was gonna be some more in there. And then yeah, we just read a little bit of that. And it said, so right here, the content. This is what I was talking about right here. Since last summer, NU system, Nebraska University system, institutions have instituted various austerity measures, program cuts at the flagship University of Nebraska-Lincoln led to deep tensions on campus. Pushback by faculty eventually manifested in a no confidence vote in November. And the Nebraska and the university's then Chancellor Rodney Bennett, who departed not long after. And so, and more, just more and more about, University of Nebraska bracing for their cuts. Temple University lays off. Serious business, man. Serious business. Real serious business. Does it apply to you as a student? Yeah, it applies to you. Like we just said, they're going to up Temple University up in Philadelphia. It's about to up tuition. They raising tuition. If we can't get the money from the state, they just said, well, we're going to charge the students. They don't care. And if the students don't care, if the people don't care, and it just goes on. And we got trillions of dollars of student loan debt to deal with. On top of our already debt we have as a country. So free college. Remember I was talking about, so these colleges offer free tuition to families earning up to $200K. Remember that I said there are deals out here right now to go to college. If you don't want to go to a 2-year and then bridge to a 4-year, they have a lot of there are a lot of deals out here if you want to go to college for free. If your family makes below $200K, you should be reaching out to these schools because it's a lot of deals going on. And so right here, is this it? Oh, I got an AI overview summary. We're just gonna go through it though. So in the admissions process at many prestigious universities, financial aid pledges have grown more generous in recent years and more complicated. Elite colleges tell applicants that they would need, or elite colleges tell applicants they will meet 100% of demonstrated financial need, often without loans. But first, students must wade through a thicket of forms to determine their expected family contribution, which might be an eye-popping sum. And so then they talking about all this other stuff, but we are not talking about that. We are trying to get to what schools. So at Emory University in Atlanta this fall, undergraduate students whose families earn $200,000 or less will pay no tuition. We covered that. If you are considering to go to Emory, you should check out and hit them up. You need to be going to Emory. You need to call Emory. You need to be calling Emory. Let me go ahead and be doing this real quick. So Emory University. So some people might say, what's Emory University? You might be watching me right now in Texas, Philadelphia, Florida. Some you might not know what Emory is. So I got to make sure I'm using this nice product I'm using. This is Emory. You see? It's a private school, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, private. Yeah, private. And it's actually considered to be a top institution. But They're saying, look, your family make under 200,000, you should consider coming to us. Okay, Emory. Okay, I see what y'all talking about. Okay, Emory. No, I gotta shut that off. All right, who's another one? John. So right here, University of Notre Dame in Indiana. Let's see what that is. It sounds like the regular University of Notre Dame, but I am going to say no every email. Pretty much the University of Notre Dame. I had this up not too long ago. The University of Notre Dame at Indiana. The University of Notre Dame in Indiana will charge no tuition this fall to students with family incomes up to $150,000 and have tuition to families earning up to $200,000. They're throwing out deals right now. I prefer you to go to a 2-year, bridge to a 4-year, but they're throwing out deals. They said this fall. So I would call the University of Notre Dame and ask them, like, hey, how long is this deal? Because last thing you want to do is go to the University of Notre Dame in Indiana and they stop the deal going into your junior year. And now you got to figure out what school to go to. That's the last thing you want to do, right? So then, okay, who's the next school? Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore is now tuition free for families earning up to $200,000. The university covers tuition, fees, and living expenses for families earning up to $100,000 a year. If you are a kid out there, hey, they're throwing out a deal. Was Johns Hopkins University one of the prestigious institutions out there as well? And look, this is Google. I got to buy some stock in Google like Warren Buffett, y'all. I'm using Google like a mug. So, Johns Hopkins University, and they showing sports. I think Johns Hopkins is an Ivy. Let me see. I was about to say Al name, and I think it is. It's a private, of course. No, it's not. It's just very respected, a very respected institution. I thought it was it's very prestigious. And they yeah, they should have the European Research Institution model. So they should be based on higher ed opened up. They probably have a German model. They said European, but they probably have the German European model, as they said, for research institution model, for the European Research Institution model. And Johns Hopkins is considered to be the first research university in the United States of America. And they're saying what? Yeah, in Baltimore, it is now free tuition. And I think Baltimore is their main campus. Yeah, University in Baltimore. Tuition free. Another deal. Oh, you thought I was done? Those schools join Carnegie Mellon. Who's Carnegie Mellon? Oh, wait. Carnegie Mellon? The Carnegie Mellon? Hold on real quick. Carnegie Mellon? No, not that Carnegie Mellon, right? Andrew Carnegie? That Andrew Carnegie? Hold on, wait. What you getting at, Henry? Hold on, wait. Let me see something. And like and subscribe. So this is Carnegie Mellon University, very prestigious. I believe it's Ivy League. I could be completely wrong. Is it Ivy? It is not an Ivy, but it's very prestigious for sure. Carnegie Mellon. Who is he? I guess they got something about him. So, fun fact about him, I mentioned this on the live screen, but I'm gonna say it again. He didn't believe in college education. Fun fact. Had a change of heart, supposedly. Supposedly had a change of heart, and then donated all his wealth to build a college. Now, if you want to go deeper, theory, be my guest. But right now, what was his net worth? Andrew Carnegie had a peak net worth of approximately 300 billion to 450 billion when adjusted for inflation, making him one of the wealthiest individuals in history. And then he sold Carnegie Steel to JP Morgan. So then you say, well, Henry, that doesn't oh wait, his college. You are likely looking for Carnegie Mellon University, which Andrew Carnegie founded in 1900 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Alternatively, there was Carnegie College in the higher education campus in, was that Dunfermline, Scotland, that emerged into Fife College. Yeah, you see it? Yeah. Yeah. Then I say this right here. How was Andrew Carnegie College founded? Andrew Carnegie. Hold on, wait. He did a $1 million, what is now Carnegie Mellon University in 1900, with a $1 million gift in gold bonds, envisioning a practical trade-focused education for working class Pittsburghers, if I say it right. He established the Carnegie Technical Schools. It evolved into a 4-year degree college and eventually merged with Mellon Institute in 1967. What, guys, all I'm saying is, prime example, what I'm saying is, I don't think he went to college, actually. I don't think he got an education. But I know some people going to say, oh, he going to send people to college so they can work for him. But look, billionaires are building colleges. This school is not no chump, man. That's what I want y'all to know. This ain't no chump. Carnegie Mellon University is not a chump school. It really ain't no school a chump school. That's what I want to get through. Like, this is where top of the line people go. Doctors, as you can see, they got people reading x-rays in there. But look, I'm going to go to Noble alumni. Where them Noble alumni is at? All right, y'all don't want to show them? I'll go look for them. Noble alumni. I ain't gonna lie, I know that actor right there. He familiar. Blair Underwood, no Blair Underwood. You know what I'm gonna do? I think it's some people in here who these are Noble. Let me go. Wait. Not y'all. See how I'm spelling finance wrong. Finance alumni. Who went here, man? I know I saw somebody that went here. They were really known. Let's see. I was like, oh, they went there? Let me see. I don't know none of these people. I thought they had some Fortune 500 people on here. It's going to hit me later. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's who went there. But this guy right here, man, just a little history lesson. Him, JP Morgan, many more. Some people going to say about the other things. But look, go to college. If you know what's right, go to college. That's what I'm going to leave it at. Carnegie Mellon. You got UPenn. What's UPenn? What's the Tufts? I think I did this before. What's the Tufts? Yep, I did this one. Tufts University. They got an offer for you. I think they're highly respected as well. I don't know. Tufts University is a private research university in Medford and Somerville, Massachusetts, United States. Additional facility in Boston. Yeah. I don't know about them like that. I don't know if they're really prestige, but they're on the list. UPenn, no need for introduction. The man who created SpaceX went to University of UPenn. Come on now. 100 years of the Ben Franklin Bridge. UPenn. Come on now. Come on, guys. It's too easy. University of Chicago. I'm about to go down another history lesson. University of Chicago. Oh, what? University of Chicago? Who founded the University of Chicago? Who founded the University of Chicago? Oh, John D. Rockefeller. Who is John D. Rockefeller? Why is that? What? Oh, John D. Rockefeller. Oh, what was his net worth? Oh, 1.4 billion. Wait. Equivalent to 400 billion to 630 billion in modern equivalent value. 400 to 630 billion. Oh, yeah, he found it. Yeah, that guy, John D. Rockefeller. Yeah, him. He founded this school right here. But look, that's all I'm gonna say right there. You ain't gotta go to college. College not important. You ain't gotta go to college. And others in making tuition-free pledges for middle-class families with incomes ranging from roughly 75,000 to 250,000 a year. And so they're throwing out deals to go here. And University of Chicago actually did some with devices as well. They actually did something with devices. So yeah. It says right here, if these families can do the impossible, get into these schools, they should be able to go, said Veronica Ha, Deputy Dean of Admissions at the University of Chicago. And so it actually covers everything. Emory University free tuition pledge was a huge factor for Maddox McClemens, 18, who applied as an early decision candidate for the fall term. Under early decision, if the school accepts you, you must attend. I wanted to go to a bigger name school, he said. Unfortunately, so many of these prestigious colleges were out of reach for me. I was fairly confident I could get into some of these schools, but I knew that if I got in, I had to be taking out a lot of money in student loans. And that's why I say, guys, go to a 2-year. That's why I say, guys, if you know you want to go to a bigger name school, which I respect wholeheartedly, but if you want to go to a bigger school and you don't get there out the gate, this student right here could have did a 2-year route and bridge to a university and still went to that big school just for 2 years. Now, depending on what they major in, we want them to major in something that where they can pay back the student loans if they do go to a big school, because this student knew, like, hey, I was gonna have to foot the bill in student loans if I went to this school all 4 years and they didn't offer this sweet deal. Like Emory has a sweet deal, and the student said it actually covers everything. So if you go to a 2-year and they still got this deal out, like, it's gonna be many other universities throwing deals out. It's not like these schools are not gonna throw deals out. Like, they're not just gonna throw them out at all. Like, it's a deal. Some schools that's probably not on here are throwing out deals right now. It just hasn't been marketed well, you know? So that's what people like me, they reach out to creators like me when I get my stuff, you know, I gotta get better. And I'd be like, hey, this school right here doing a deal. You ever heard of this school? This is what this school is apparently doing. This is a credible, real school. And so the student lives with his mother, who works as a county appraiser in Twin Falls, Idaho. Based on the family's finances, Emory committed to cover the full cost of his attendance. And he came from a school did he come from Idaho? They said Elizabeth's mother works as an appraiser in Idaho. Based on the family's finances, Emory committed to cover the full cost of his attendance, including room and board, when the school accepted him. I basically told her that if I got in, I wouldn't be paying anything. He said it actually covers everything. So yeah, top universities are missing middle class students. College aid officials talked a lot these days about a demographic phenomenon variously called missing middle, the donut or the barbell. Top universities often have large numbers of low income students whose full cost of attendance is covered by government and institutional grants. They also have a large populations of affluent students whose parents pay the full cost of attendance. But the students in the middle, they always got the bad barrel. They got the bad end of the stick. When you got to pick the smallest stick, they always got the bad end. So now they're trying to pave a way for middle. That's why I started speaking on behalf, because it helps middle income students a lot. Like if you're in the middle, you're like, I don't qualify for Pell or this secondary, as I like to say, like this state, like we call it Hope in Georgia. If you don't qualify for certain things in that state because you're middle class, but you can't pay for school out of pocket because you're middle class, a 2 year is the best route because it sustains you and that's more doable. And it gives you time to build up a GPA, apply for scholarships, even though I think scholarships are not all that. Apply for scholarships if you want to. Try to get them full ride, them big dog scholarships, right? And then also find a school that's giving a deal. I can't stress that going to a school that's offering you a deal is so important. Going to a school that's offering you a deal is huge, man. That's like really huge. Like finding a school that fits you and it's affordable, and you get like, oh, I don't got to pay for this. I started at a 2 year, and hold on, you saying if I transfer here, I don't have to pay for anything. I potentially have a full ride. It's huge. Good for business. It's so many ways to do this. We cooking this up. Like it's so many ways you can just stir it up. Yeah. Dope. For real. Great opportunity. So I want to say that's everything. So yeah. Thank you for watching us. Like and subscribe. Please share this with anybody who is getting ready to go to college, guys. July is almost over. August is almost here. Some students are probably already at their universities. Some students are already at their 2 year colleges. It's about to go down. And a lot of changes are still happening. We have been doing this. We are being consistent. It has been a good year. We got some good subscribers at the rate we're going and making do what it do. We have been doing really good. Thank you to the subscribers. Like and subscribe. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the video or talking about us. Because it's really simple to go save money in college, let alone if you can come to me and call the institution that you're considering to go to and like make sure you're trying to transfer under articulation agreement, like calling a university, then talking to that 2 year college, then making sure you what we didn't even get into our what's that word, geopolitics, geographic. We didn't even get into our geographics, like, you know, go to this area because this area can have a better affordable living, like cost of living. Like somebody can be like, I don't know what state falls on the I don't know what state falls on the line. Like in Georgia, like certain parts, I fall on the line of Alabama based on where my mom stay. And then on certain parts in Georgia, if you like up in the Atlanta area, you could be right close to what, South Carolina, right, Al? Yeah, you could be close to Augusta. Yeah, you could be close to, like, if you're in Augusta, you could be close to South Carolina, then North, you know, like, so then you can get into like, okay, this school is in my radius. So some schools let you attend if it's in your radius. So it's just so many ways we can do this and talk about this, right? But please like and subscribe. You got to share us. That helps us out a lot because we don't have a marketing team right now. So this helps us get it out there. We're trying to save kids $10,000 and more. Like I feel confident to say if you watch this live stream for like 10 minutes, you're going to get some valuable information out of it, or 5 minutes. You don't have to watch the whole hour, 2 hour, because who am I, right? you don't have that much time. Time is like what? You gotta be fast paced, right? But I do expect you to watch it like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes out your day every day if you can, because a lot of this information is out there. But let's be honest, it's more convenient to watch somebody pull it up than you go and look it up. Oh, that's a bar. That was a bar. Give me my credit, Al. That was a bar. So once again, like and subscribe, share us out. We'll be back next Tuesday. Hopefully your boy finds some time, because my go-to strategy in this model, in this business model, I can't say on this live screen, requires focusing on other parts of the business. And so I'm rooting for y'all, man. It's hard right now. It's tough. But once again, Georgia, as we covered earlier, Georgia, the peach state that I went to school at, we are third for the most average student loans being borrowed. The average student who goes to school in Georgia, it averages $42,000 in student loans. Keep that in mind. So if you could be in a better state, have a better chance at not paying anything for college. You can have a better chance. My state was ranked number 3. What if your state ranked number 1 or 2? You still got a good chance, because I paid 0 in my state. I paid $0. That's helping you manage your financial aid money that you get for the year. That's going to help you manage that money. That's why we say start at a 2-year, then bridge to a 4-year, because then you can manage their money well. And when you manage their money well, then you can save your money and hopefully get a car, hopefully save up for this, save up for that. You can start your business early. You can do more things. You can have more flexibility on life. That's the beauty of starting at a 2-year, because I couldn't do this if I was, I don't know, it'd be kind of hard to be trying to start businesses and stuff. And I'm in a lot of student loan debt. It's really hard. It's really hard because when you're starting a business, you don't make money. And I'm not making money in my business. I'm not. So you got to have something that can sustain you, getting a day job, because now your day job money has to go towards your student loans. That's normally how the game goes. So then once you don't have student loans, or you got a little amount of student loans, you can jump into like doing things you want to do, starting a business, starting a family, getting a car. Because like it just don't make sense with today's data, saying all this other jibber robber. It don't make sense. I did the research. It don't make sense. I think it's skewed. Some of it is very credible though, but a lot of it is credible, but it's still skewed because they're not asking. I feel like personally, they're not asking the right questions. The thing is, a lot of students don't understand higher ed. So if a lot of students don't understand higher ed, they're not understanding the decisions they're making is very critical. Parents don't understand that. And this is not just low income. This is low income, middle class, high class, or high income families all across the board. Only difference between, I say, high income families, they don't have to worry about the price. They don't care. They got the money. But as far as my low income, middle class people, they got to worry about the price. The high income is probably worrying about, is my son or daughter getting a great return on investment if they go to this school? That's what they're worrying about. That's why they should watch this channel as well. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. If I think about all high income earners, I'm highly sure they got a college degree. That'd be something we should look up on the live stream more, make a video of. It'd be a good video when it out. Every person that I think of right now that's a billionaire or multimillionaire has a bachelor's degree. And the only person that don't have one is Bill Gates, probably. Ooh, that's a good video right there. That's something to think. Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. So like and subscribe. Appreciate you for stopping by. Helps the channel. See you next week, next Tuesday, and we will hopefully clip some of this stuff up, put it in smaller videos. Peace, love, chicken grease.